Hey guys!
We're the Dorkeries.
We're the Dorkeries.
And today we have a comic character crash course.
We're crash coursing on
Doom Patrol.
Bum Bum Bum.
So, you might be asking, what is it?
Because it's Doom.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Patrol.
You might be asking, what's a comic character crash course? Well, this is where we like to take characters that aren't quite in the mainstream yet. Maybe one day. Or maybe they are a little bit. But just some of those characters that don't get all the love and attention those big guys do, or those big gals do, or those big teams do. And today we're talking about a team, Doom Patrol. And so I remember, Lady Dorkery, there was a Comic-Con, I guess, 2-3 years ago. And there was these amazing posters at the DC booth. And I was like, oh, I gotta have those posters because they were nice. But the only way you could get them is if you subscribed to DC Universe.
So guess what we did?
We subscribed
to DC Universe.
To DC Universe. I remember
swag.
And then I was like, look, I remember. And so they were like, and every day you came back and you got a different poster. And one that really caught our attention was this bad boy right here. So this is where it all started. The genesis of our love for Doom Patrol started with a poster. And this is not like, we just kind of got this out. This is not professionally framed yet. We're going to get that done. But we love that poster. And I was like, Lady Dorkery, let's, we got it now. We paid for it.
We paid for the streaming service.
Let's watch it.
So I'd never heard of Doom Patrol before.
Right.
I had never heard. They had another poster they gave us for Titans, and of course I knew Titans because of Teen Titans Go, which and of course,
we watched that and we love that show.
And of course you have characters on that are a little more mainstream like Robin.
Yeah.
But I had never heard of any of these characters. Even though I grew up loving comic book characters, I loved whatever was mainstream. And I'd never heard of any of these.
Yep.
Such as Elastigirl.
Yep.
Robot Man.
Cliff!
Negative Man? Like, what is Negative Man? I was like, is that supposed to be like Invisible Man? That's what I thought at first. I thought maybe they were stealing something from Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it did kind of remind me of that.
So, and Crazy Jane. Wait, you don't want to talk about Crazy Jane?
No, that's fine. I love Crazy Jane.
Okay, so favorite. I'd never heard of any of these characters, but this is like a really intriguing. So we have, just since we said them all, let's say we've got Robot Man, Negative Man, we've got Elastigirl, Crazy Jane, and Cyborg. And then right here in this picture right here, if you can see that, that's Niles Cauldron. So anyways, I've never heard of any of these characters.
The only one, I remember the only one that came to Comic-Con was Crazy Jane. Like the others didn't.
Really?
Yeah, didn't come. So
see, I don't know, because even at the time, all I wanted was the poster. I didn't know anything about the show. The poster was
we
just
didn't go
really
to the
cool.
panel or anything like that.
But now I'm in deep.
Yeah. Now it's like when you look back, you're like, oh, I wish I could have gone to that panel.
I'm in deep. So
because we love Crazy Jane. If she was the only one there, I would have been happy.
Absolutely. So we started watching the show.
Yep.
And then after watching the show, we're at the Honey Hole, and I found some of the comics.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's dig in and
deeper.
See what these
dork out harder.
Characters are really about.
Yep.
So I bought all the comics, and then I bought more comics, and then I bought more comics.
Yep.
And now we're here.
Yep. So we're going to get into the characters of Doom Patrol and say, why do you guys love this? Because I think that's what, normally when we like shows, we're invested in the characters.
Yeah.
We're invested in the characters themselves. We're attached to them. If we get attached to the characters, then we get attached to the show. Same thing with the comics. If we get attached to the characters in the comics, then we get really attached to the comics. So
right. So on the TV show, there's a group of characters I showed you on the poster.
Yep.
But when I found the comics at the Honey Hole, let's show that first one. So this is the first comic I found at the Honey Hole.
You were expecting to see them all in there?
Those characters are not all in there. Actually, the only one we get in this comic, and I'll talk a little bit about this comic in just a second, the only one we get is Robot Man and Negative Man. So I was really happily surprised when I found this at the Honey Hole to discover that this is a Gerard Way comic.
Oh.
I was super, super happy about that because he also created my Umbrella Academy.
Yes.
So I bought all of them. Show them just the stack. Just pick up the stack.
So here's number 2. Does this mean that Elastigirl came back in
Not in that comic. Not in issue 2.
No, no spoilers there. So yeah, and it just kept going.
There's Negative Man.
Yep. So then, I love this cover. This is one of my favorite of the.
I'll be honest, series. I don't understand what's going on that cover.
I don't either, but I just think it's amazing.
Oh yeah, so these covers are absolutely amazing. Why I loved that character right there that you're looking at.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, that's a character called Casey Brink that's not in the TV show.
Okay, cool.
I've only found her on this comic.
Is that a scant coming out?
No. This is a Fug. And I even have, like, Fug question mark. Like, what is a Fug? Yeah. It's like her little thing that follows her around. That's an awesome Robot Man.
Yep. So, we're almost done. That's cool. I like that one. Keep going.
Okay, so obviously I've got the love for the TV show, and then I found out Gerard Way is involved, and I'm just stuck. Yeah. So I read all of these Gerard Way comics. There's 12 in his series. I believe this is like the 6th run of Doom Patrol. Yeah. That he did with the DC imprint Young Animal, which is for mature readers. It's a little dark, it's a little twisted, it's a little weird, and again, definitely weird. For mature readers. The TV show as well, for mature viewers.
Yeah. Cliff!
But they're so weird and so, like, I have no idea what's going on. We're talking about universes and universes and universes.
Don't you ever, like, when you see that, like this, and you see the show, and you see the characters and how weird they are, you ever wonder, like, what's going on in Gerard Way's head?
Yeah, and it's kind of like when you...
It's awesome.
It's kind of like when you sit back and you go, wait a second. Should somebody check on Stephen King?
Should someone check on Gerard Way?
We make sure he's doing okay.
Is Gerard Way really good? I mean, did he have a real chemical romance with something?
So one of the weird things that you see a lot in this comic, if you have ever watched the TV show, there is a character called Danny the Brick.
Okay.
And he's in this...
Very interesting character.
This whole series is all about, really, Danny the Brick. And so when you see that, when you read that after seeing it on the TV show, and when I say Danny the Brick, Danny is a brick. It really is a brick. Yeah. But it's a brick that's like from space that literally can make things and create things and become things. He can create people. And it's really weird and spacey and out there.
What else does Danny become besides just a brick?
He's a street.
Yeah.
He's a land, Danny Land. It's really weird.
And doesn't he as a character, doesn't he house people and give them safety? Like he gives them safety.
It's a safety for weirdos.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what our Doom Patrol is.
Yeah.
So Doom Patrol got its start in My Greatest Adventure, number 80.
In 1963.
You almost bought that comic the other day, but it was a little pricey, and we want to find a better copy.
Yeah.
But so My Greatest Adventure, in number 80, they introduced Doom Patrol as the Legion of the world's strangest heroes.
Okay. So immediately, outcasts.
Yeah, they're really super weird. Like, they're definitely everything they do is born of disaster. Yeah. It's not like Superman.
Like life gave them a bad deal.
So, for example, Negative Man.
Yeah.
Who is in our first series in My Greatest Adventure. Negative Man was an astronaut.
Yeah.
Who goes up in his plane. He's doing some kind of test run.
Yeah, because it's like a plane that can go to space, right?
Yeah,
so it's like a rocket.
There's actually a little shout out to that right here.
Oh, okay.
On this poster. But so he goes into space and through some kind of accident encounters some kind of negative energy that becomes part of him and takes over who he is. And what this negative energy can leave his body to fight crimes and do things. And I say crimes, this is not a Superman hero.
No.
This is like, we're going to fight Mr. Zero, who is literally from nowhere. Who's trying to turn the earth into
they're not out on the
nothing.
Streets fighting thugs.
No, so I don't even like to say fighting crime. They're fighting weird.
Well, Negative Man especially, he's wrapped up and,
because he's got radiation. If he takes off his special bandages, his radiation from the negative field will kill everyone.
Yeah, so he don't want to be like out in public a lot.
So here's what's cool that you see in the comics about Negative Man that you don't really understand from the TV show.
Yeah.
When you read it in the comics, you understand that's what's going on in the TV show, but the TV show doesn't greatly explain it.
Okay.
They expect you to be comic readers that know what's going on.
Of course.
So when the negative energy leaves Larry Trainer to go
negative
fight,
man.
to go do whatever he needs to do, to work, he has promised Larry that if you allow me to do this while you're asleep, I'll let you live entire lifetimes.
Oh.
Because he's basically like, my life is over because you took over my body.
Okay.
But the negative energy is like, I have to be in your body. We have things we need to write in the world.
Okay.
I have to do this. What I promise you is that while I'm writing things in the world, I'll let you live entire lifetimes in your sleep.
Huh.
So like he can be asleep for 30 minutes and live a 40-year life.
Whoa, that's a nap.
And he usually wakes up very stressed out from the things that he's encountered, but he's literally living. So on the TV show portrays that as memories from his past life.
Gotcha.
But the comics actually shows him like fighting wars, doing things, literally
cool.
living entire lifetimes while he's sleeping.
That could be quite the I don't know about that. I don't know if I would like that or not.
And so
curse or blessing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Another one of my favorite characters is, I was looking to see if we had a picture, but I don't, is Elastigirl.
Yeah.
Elastigirl, this is a picture of her. Okay, there we go. And that's pretty much what she looks like in My Greatest Adventure. That's how.
Yep.
Elastigirl is portrayed by April Bowlby.
Okay, the actress, April Bowlby.
The actress, April Bowlby. Her name is Rita Farr.
Yeah.
And she is an actress from the 50s and the 60s. And she's very cool.
Yeah.
And she, in the My Greatest Adventure comics, she gets big and gets small like Ant-Man.
So she don't become a blob.
In the TV series, she becomes a blob that literally, and her skin, look, I'm going to do this with my skin. Her skin does this, Jerry, look. Is this attractive?
Kind of, this is not her.
And it melts.
Kind of similar to that little guy right there.
Let me see.
So, kind of.
Oh, that's gross.
Kind of.
Okay, so Rita Farr becomes Elastigirl while she's acting.
Yep.
She wants to do all her own stunts, but she gets carried away by a waterfall, I don't know. She's not in the ocean, but she gets drug away by the water. And while she's under the water, she encounters some kind of ancient element in the ground that turns her molecules wonky.
So basically, she has no control over her molecules at the beginning. So.
Right. I want to show more comics.
You didn't talk about Cliff. My favorite.
Cliff Steele.
Well, my second
show me
favorite.
one of your... Okay, here we go. Cliff Steele. This is Robot Man. He is in every series because he can't die. Because basically Robot Man was in a horrible auto accident.
Yeah.
And the only thing that survived was his brain.
Yeah.
His brain was then put into a robot body shield. And so he can't feel, he can't touch. He basically can only think and be angry and fight with his robot body. But this allows him to be present in every single series, regardless of who else dies.
Yeah.
Because the Doom Patrol is just like any other Legion of Heroes. They change throughout.
Yeah.
People leave, people die, people decide they don't want to be a hero anymore, and they bring in other characters. Random, such as Beast Boy.
You're right.
At one time as part of Doom Patrol. And we're not talking about him a lot today, but he is a small part of the Doom Patrol.
Yep.
So the Doom Patrol, like I said, My Greatest Adventure. I was actually able to read that on the DC streaming service.
Oh, cool.
You can look up any comics.
Yeah, because if I had it, I wouldn't let you read it.
No, but you can look it up by comic. You
Yeah.
can look it up by storyline.
Yep.
Which
is pretty much all DC Universe is now, because their shows are all going to HBO Max.
Show me that storyline right there.
Yep.
So this is a Doom Patrol that Andy didn't want me to read because it's in such good condition. But it's called Crawling from the Wreckage, okay? Doom Patrol Crawling from the Wreckage. So I can go to DC Streaming and I can either look up Doom Patrol and see every Doom Patrol comic, or I can type in Crawling from the Wreckage and just read this little series of it.
Oh, cool.
Cool, right? So I read My Greatest Adventure, the very first comic.
Okay. Good read?
Very good read. And it's what
Silver
introduces
Age goodness.
It's what introduces you to all of the Doom Patrol.
Yep.
Their backstories, how they came to be.
Niles.
Niles Cauldron, who is the creator of the Doom Patrol. Right. We're not exactly sure if he created them, meaning he caused their powers to happen.
Okay.
But he is responsible for bringing them all together to form them as a team. And Niles Cauldron, and tell me what's weird about him. You know this from the TV show.
What do you mean, what's weird for him?
Well, he's in a wheelchair.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's not weird. But I say that because it's weird, because at the time that he was his character was created, there was another character being created over at a different
label.
Marvel. Professor X. He's not part of our crash course today.
Right.
But Niles Cauldron was actually first.
Oh, so you were thinking maybe the idea was stolen?
Well, there was some speculation that the idea was stolen of a man in a wheelchair forming his own superhero team.
Yep.
The creator of Doom Patrol actually accused...
Mutantly, some of these, some of these guys are mutantly generated, so...
He actually accused some of his writers as taking the idea to Stan Lee.
Of course. They're always fighting over that.
But later on, he kind of...
There's nothing new under the sun.
No. And that's what he came to. Because later on, he kind of said, you know what? We're both writers.
Yeah.
We both write these characters. Yeah. We were eventually going to come to this idea.
Yeah.
It is a little suspicious that it happened at the same time. But Doom Patrol was first.
Right.
But they're really nothing alike. Right. X-Men is genetic mutation.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol is... disaster struck
right.
And it changed everything about them.
Exactly. Okay.
And Niles Cauldron is not Professor X.
Right. Meaning, the morals
he is not. He
Charles Xavier.
His motives are very questionable.
Yeah.
So a lot of times in the comics you see he's not even with the Doom Patrol.
Right.
And they'll have a little page that says, "Where's Niles Cauldron?" And then they'll go try to find him. But the Doom Patrol doesn't always like working with Niles
right.
Cauldron. They don't. Right. They question his motives.
Gotcha.
A lot. Sad thing, they all die at the end of My Greatest Adventure.
Aww.
So what happens? We get new heroes.
Well, like 20 years later.
We get new heroes. So My Greatest Adventure ends, and then we get this run of Cooperberg Doom Patrol.
Which started in...
87.
And again, the Greatest Adventures are like in the 60s, so there was a long gap in between those volumes.
So I bought for myself 5 of these.
Yeah.
I decided to end with 5. He had a whole lot of them, but these were not cheap. I paid $5 to $10 for each of these, but I really wanted to have them. This is where I decided to stop because, as you can see, there's another death of some of the characters there. People always leaving teams, right?
Such comic, yeah.
Isn't that
killing them off?
That's the
bringing them
sad
back
thing
later.
About when you fall in love with a group of characters.
Yeah.
With any of them, and then they decide they don't want to be part of it anymore. You do. It's always sad though. Okay, so the Cooperberg run, Drew, not my favorite run. Pretty much because all my favorite characters are dead, except for Cliff Steele.
Well, let's be fair though. You started off with the Gerard Way series, and Gerard's a very good writer,
and he's my favorite.
Yeah.
So one of the characters in here though is
this guy had big shoes to fill for you.
Negative Woman.
Yeah, she was in the series, right?
She was in the series. She just did a cameo appearance. I like that word. As a cosmonaut that comes down from space, and she actually tries to teach Larry Trainor how to use his negative energy a little bit more. But she's in a very short series. But there's some other characters in here. You've got Tempest. Trying to see if you've got Tempest over here on the right of this comic.
Never heard of her.
No, him.
See?
Celsius is her over here on the left.
Gotcha.
I just don't care about them.
Right, because you're not
attached.
attached.
If I'm just being honest, I don't care about them.
And the writer in the comics didn't even bring you in, do such a good job of character development in the comics to where you got attached to them.
I didn't love them.
That's fine.
But that series this series does not end.
No.
They fired Cooperberg.
Well, they actually fired him or he left?
I don't know. Maybe both. So in the middle...
It was a mutual
In the middle
separation.
of that series, Cooperberg... Hey, shout out to Cooperberg for keeping the series going.
Yeah, thank you.
No bashing, no. You kept the series going long enough for somebody else to come in and bring some new creative juices.
Yeah.
In the middle of that series, too, they didn't end the series. They just changed writers.
Yeah, in 1989, one of my favorite writers in the DC universe, Grant Morrison, comes in.
And these covers are legit.
He comes out swinging. So this is the reason why I wouldn't let Lady Dorkery read this, because this is actually the first appearance of my favorite Doom Patrol character. If you get this slabbed, it will say Grant Morrison's run begins on the Doom Patrol, which is, again,
it's cool that they say it.
CGC even recognizes how big this is for Doom Patrol. And then also the first appearance of Crazy Jane.
Get on that crazy train.
Yep, so...
Get on that crazy train.
I'm going to get this pressed clean by E-Rod 2, 1,
2, 1, 2.
And then get this slabbed. So hopefully this will be a 9/8. But Crazy Jane, talk about Crazy Jane.
Crazy Jane, come on, ride that train and ride it. Why do you love Crazy Jane?
Well,
she is my favorite.
She has
character.
so many different. She's a character that has so many different personas
because she has
multiple personality disorder.
She is split, and she is split in so many different ways. Bless her heart. First of all, why are we so intrigued with people with split personalities?
Is this actually Crazy Jane right here?
Yes.
Not the Crazy Jane that we all know and love.
Well, let's look at all her differences, okay? You've got that Crazy Jane.
Yep.
That's her there. This is her here.
Okay.
This is Crazy Jane here.
Yep.
My favorite Crazy Jane, Diane Guerrero on the TV series. She is a pretty, pretty, pretty woman. Look at this lady. Gorgeous. Amazing cast. They did an amazing job casting this show.
Yep. So talk about Crazy Jane specifically as a character. Like, how did she, again, we know that Negative Man, got into space and energy. Cliff got in a car wreck. Rita basically, drowned or got down there. But how did Crazy Jane's origin begin?
Crazy Jane broke.
Yeah.
Broke in pretty much the same way you see anyone with split personalities break. She was abused.
Yeah.
Her daddy trashed her.
Yeah.
Until these other personalities started developing in order to protect her.
Exactly.
And take care of her. So they hide her her true personality, which is Kay, a little girl named Kay. They've taken the little girl underground to protect her.
Right.
And now all of these other characters come out. Crazy Jane is actually one of Kay's personalities, and she actually says, "I'm not a personality. I'm a person. I don't have a split personality. I have many persons living." She says, "I'm not a personality.
Yeah.
I'm a person."
Right.
So Crazy Jane is one of the people that lives in Kay's underground.
Oh.
And here's what I love about the portrayal of the comic into the TV series. When Crazy Jane's personalities are all talking, you see them all talking underground in a train station. All of that is written into all of the comics, even this one.
Yeah.
Even her very first appearance, you see her underground.
Oh, cool.
It's a train station because that's her train of thought.
Oh, that makes sense.
So it all happens underground in an abandoned train station.
Oh, okay.
Each personality has their own line, their own train line.
I gotcha. Their own thoughts.
Yeah. So that's really cool to see, both in the TV series and in the comics.
So who's besides Crazy Jane? Is there another personality that you really like? You like Baby Doll?
Baby Doll, and Baby Doll is she's in the TV series. She's also talked about in the very first. I'm sorry, I keep pointing like you can see that the first appearance of Crazy Jane is over there.
Sorry. That's where you say, bring that back up, Drew.
Baby Doll is even talked about here, and the reason she's talked about here in this comic. Like I said, you've got Robo-Man, also known as Automaton, is actually his name in
Automaton.
In his
like
first appearance, Automaton is what they called him, and then they decided to call him Robot Man later.
Automaton.
I love in comics we're just like, you know what? Let's just change his name.
Did Grant do that?
No. It was in My Greatest Adventure.
Okay,
like a few issues in, they started calling him Robot Man.
Okay.
So he's in all the series, also TV. Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser, seriously, how anyone can make something so entertaining just with their voice. The 90s kid in me fell in love with Brendan Fraser all over again.
Yeah.
Okay, but she's introduced in this series, she's introduced the same way that she is in the television series to be a friend to Robot Man.
Okay.
And so it's brought up that Baby Doll, one of the persons living in her, loves Cliff because she feels safe with him, which you see also in the TV show, right?
Right. Wow, that's a lot of characters.
It's a lot of characters.
Oh, talk about this guy.
So this is kind of like a cameo character. He's not always in everything. He actually was in the original Doom Patrol, but now in our new Doom Patrol series, he just lives in Danny.
Okay.
He lives in Danny. But he is Flex Mentallo, who can literally move things, cause people to feel things by flexing his muscles. He could flex his muscles. Man. He could do this right here and move a couch across the room. He could also do this right here and make you feel things you might not want to feel.
Why is that unusual, G-Lady Dorkery? I do that all the time.
But I actually, Flex Mentality and Mentallo is one of my favorite characters, and he's always in these speedos just because he's fun. These characters are fun.
Yeah, he's got a great personality
and weird.
Yeah. Then there he is, right there. You know, he's just
Flex.
Again, putting that lady on his shoulders.
Flex Mentallo. Okay, find your favorite cover and show me. I want to see if.
Find my favorite cover?
Yeah, let's just show some comics real fast, and then we can be done.
I showed this briefly.
This is a crash course.
We didn't talk about Dorothy.
Well, Dorothy...
I think we got a Dorothy cover in here.
Yeah, there's a Dorothy cover. Dorothy comes in... I actually read her appearance. She's in My Greatest Adventure. I read that on my DC streaming service.
Oh, keep going.
And she's basically just a little girl who kind of has an ape-like face.
Yeah.
She was abandoned by her mother. But in the comics, she was just a fan of the Doom Patrol and ends up joining up with them.
Oh, okay.
She has the ability to make things in her imagination come to real life.
And she's in Dannyland, too, at least in this comic right here. So, there she is. She's in Dannyland.
Well, Danny protects her because she is... They do consider her an outcast because of her facial features. And so, Danny is really brought into the TV series a lot to protect Dorothy.
Yeah.
Look, there's a brick. There's a brick. Look, there's Danny the brick. It even says Dan Patrol. Dan Patrol instead of Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool group of characters.
Yeah.
There is so much character change, character development. If you're looking for a new group of characters to dork out on, do the Doom Patrol.
Yeah, and there's so much material out there. You know, obviously there's a show, but more importantly, there's a lot of comics out there. There's a lot of volume.
6 different series
this series
of comics.
Is going right now, right? This Weight of the World. Isn't this
it's
current?
The newest. This is 2019 that I know of. It's
it may
the
not
newest.
still be going, but
Weight of the World's Doom Patrol
but it's still,
with Gerard Way.
Still Gerard. Still Young Animal.
Which is very fun. I love weird stuff. Like I said, the TV show is rated mature. And for me, that's adult mature, not teenage mature. My teenagers are not allowed to watch the show. It's adult mature.
Yep.
So.
Fun.
But it's fun to dork out of.
Yep. Doom Patrol, something that we just felt like, hey, it's not quite out there yet.
I've barely scratched the surface.
And, but again, I think there's so much to go into. So much to dork out about, so many characters to really love and get attached to.
This is cool.
And,
look at that negative man.
just proof that we don't just like Marvel, we like DC too. We got DC goodness.
If anybody finds a Doom Patrol shirt, I want one.
Okay.
Young Animal.
Not a lot out there, huh?
Well, Young Animal used to have a line at Hot Topic when they first came out, but in 2016, but I can't find them anywhere.
We'll find it. So all kinds of stuff to still get in there for her to dork out about, for you to dork out about. So we just love this comic character crash course again. Just a quick,
This is our first comic group.
Yeah, I mean, there's like
comic
tons of materials to get into. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found out a little bit more. Maybe you'll go check out Doom Patrol, which again now is, if you want to watch it on TV, now is on HBO Max. So, DC Universe is going to end in a few months for TV shows, but the comics will always be there. So you can go on there and read them digitally. Resource. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. And in the meantime,
go dork yourself.
Go dork yourself. Pew, pew.